Hey guys, how's it going? It's Billy coming at you this morning with some Record Store Day 2019. Um, I didn't do the last Record Store Day. No, I didn't do the last Record Store Day, but I did partake in this one. There were a couple things on the list that I wanted to get, and I had talked with a buddy who I was going to meet. We just ended up riding together and going to three different stores, and it was a good day, fun day. Ended up picking up a few extra things off the list, which I guess that always happens, especially when you go in with just one or two things on your list. I think I had three or four actually on my list, and I came home with six. So actually six and a bonus thing I'll show here at the end. But so off the bat, we started off at Rich's Records, Rich's Record Emporium in Collinsville. And Rich opened up early. Rich was the first store in the area to open up. He opened up at 9. So my buddy Steve and I got in line. I think I met him at his house at 7, and we ended up there by like 7:30-ish. And we're in line and ended up he last year he said the last 2 years he'd actually done Rich's, and he was there 7:30 and was first second in line, and then people didn't really start showing up until 8 o'clock. Well, this year was a little bit different. We got there at 7:30-ish and we're like fifth and sixth in line, which wasn't really no big deal. But right after we got there, ended up being about 30 or so people in line. And they let everybody in at once, which was kind of crazy because it's a small shop, and it was a madhouse. And I had one particular thing in mind that I wanted, and unfortunately they didn't have it. So, as I'm sure you guys are well aware, if you're standing there looking for that one particular thing, by the time I couldn't really find it, a lot of the other stuff had already been picked over because there were 40 or 50 people in the store, in a small store, just grabbing everything, which was kind of crazy. It was kind of a madhouse in there. Still a little bit fun. I ended up picking up one thing in there, but I knew I was going to get a new cartridge. I'll go ahead and show that. I got an Artiphone 2M Blue. It's an upgrade to what I had on the Thorns back there. You can see right above my thumb. I had talked with Mark and the other guy at Rich's for the last couple of weeks, and I've been talking with Mitch Wood as well. Mitch actually has one of these and has got 15 hours or so on it, so it's really not even broken in yet, but he loved it, spoke highly of it, and everybody speaks highly of the cartridge, and I wanted to get a newer upgrade cartridge, so that's what I decided to go with. Very easy to install, put it on, aligned it, set up everything. It was real easy. Got everything going last night, and it has a few hours on it and sounds great. Can't wait to continually break that thing in and see how it sounds. It's much warmer, rich, full sound than the Audio Technicas that I had been running on there. So I knew I was going to get the new cartridge, so I knew I already was going to be spending a lot of money, so I didn't go crazy at the first store. The one thing I did walk away with was the Tommy Bolin, Come Taste the Man. This was one that I had originally passed by on first look or first glance at the Record Store Day list, but after going through and I saw that I only had 4 things on the list, I went and picked another couple of things, and this was one of them. Primarily, and I really love, I'll go ahead and pull this out, love this deep purple vinyl. And this, I'm not 100% sure on this, but I believe it is limited to 1,000, which, that's really not too limited. I mean, I guess it is, but, for the fan base, honestly, I've seen these. I don't know how much I really buy into those numbers, the Record Store Day numbers. Kind of like Tommy Burton. I kind of believe that sometimes they maybe a little, those numbers might not be 100% accurate. Anyway, with that being said, we went to 2 smaller stores. We ended up going to 3 stores. 2 of them were really small stores, and honestly, I saw like if there's 1,000 of those, they must have just sent them here because I must have seen 6 or 8 of those Tommy Bolins, and I didn't even go to any big stores like Euclid or Vintage Vinyl or anything like that, and I'm sure they had a bunch. So if the smaller stores had that many, I'm sure the bigger stores had a lot more. So who's to say how many are out there? Either way, I was glad to get that. And then I ended up, like I said, picking up the 2M Blue cartridge. And while I was waiting in line, they had some closeouts from last year, and I could not let this sit there. So this is from last record store day. It's the Creedence box set, 1969 archives. I'm just gonna go through. It's a great box set. They had this marked down to like 50% off, and I just couldn't let it sit there. I'll go through and show you. There's a poster in here. I'm not gonna take it out. But it has all the albums that Creedence released in '69, and you come to when you really stop and think of it, the albums that they released in '69 with the hits are just unbelievable. Let me slide this out of the way. So first off, we have Bayou Country, and this is a Japanese. They made it look like the Japanese release, and I believe this is on red vinyl. Double check. I was thinking that, yeah, that was the one that was on red. There you go. Nice reprinted labels there. They packaged this to pretty much replicate the way everything was made back in 1969. This is the fantasy box. Here is the second record, Green River, and this is an Italian pressing. And I'm not sure. I think that's just that's just on black vinyl, but a great custom center label there. I haven't been able to give these a spin yet, so I can't speak to the audio quality. And then the third is Willie and the Poor Boys, and I think this is I'm not sure if this is a U.S. pressing or not. Maybe it was from Spain. Czech Republic. There we go. But love the fantasy label on there. So those are the 3 LPs that were released in '69. What you also get are CD copies as well of everything, and I love the old portfolio type book. Matter of fact, I still have one of these from when I was a kid. With the cardboard type pages that you could glue or stick your photos in. Mom used to keep a photo album, a memories album, exactly like this. Just it had the same cover and everything, and I have it in the storage somewhere. So there's that, and so that's basically just the CDs of everything, the 3 albums, and then there were 3 7-inch in there as well. And again, I believe one is Japanese, one is Italian, and one is probably no. It looks like it is Mexico. Okay, so here's the Japanese LP of Bad Moon Rising, Proud Mary, Susie Q, and I Put a Spell on You. And I said it's an LP, but it's actually 7-inch. I believe this is on red as well. Here is I don't remember if that's the Italian one or not, but you have what's on there? Proud Mary, Walk on the Water, Bad Moon Rising, and Lodi, and it's just on black vinyl. And the last 7-inch, yeah, it is a Mexican or Spanish printing there, and it looks like it's a Fortunate Son down on the corner, Tombstone Shadow, and Cross Tie Walker. Yeah, there's all the Spanish there. So there you have it. This was the contents page that was on the outside of the box. Also came with a 60-page book with clippings and just a bunch of cool stuff. You can't really see it there. A bumper sticker. I mean, 8x12 photo. A bunch of really cool stuff. It was one of those boxes that, like I said, it was marked down about 50% off, and I wasn't going to let it sit there for the price. So that's what I picked up at Rich's Records. Those were that was our first stop of the day. After we finished up at Rich's, we ended up going to one of our new favorite stores in Edwardsville called Trusty Cords Record Shop. He didn't open up until 11, so we had a little bit of time, plenty of time to get in line, and we thought we would end up being probably first or second in line. We ended up being fourth in line. There were 3 kids in front of us, and since I wasn't able to get the number one thing on my list at Rich's, I was kind of concerned that I wasn't going to be able to get it at Trusty as well. Now, the number one thing on my list, there were it was a very limited release, so I was just not really expecting to be able to get it, and especially knowing there were 3 other people in front of me, I thought, well, the odds are I'm probably not going to get it. So went in, he opened the doors, he had some coffee and donuts and things like that for everybody in line, and I was thoroughly impressed at how many people showed up to support the new store. He's only been in business since December. It's a great little store, but I'd say we ended up being 4th and 5th in line, and by the time the doors opened, there must have been 50 or 60 people in line. It was unbelievable, the support and the showing that showed up out there at Trusty Cords. I was so happy for them. They did the store was laid out perfectly. Even though he let everybody in at the same time, it wasn't near as crowded. You could still get through. You could maneuver. Everybody was, fairly polite and friendly. They were able to get through the line quickly, and I ended up getting darn near everything on my list at Trusty Cords, which is great. So I'm going to start off with a 7-inch, the Steve Earle 7-inch. This is kind of goes hand in hand with the Guy Clark album. So this is El Coyote and Don't Let the Sunshine Fool You. So this is kind of an accompanying piece to the Guy Clark LP that was just released. Let's move right along here. Second piece I ended up getting was the new Tedeschi Trucks, and this is just an EP. What is it? A 4-song? Yeah, 3 songs on side 1, 1 song on side 2. So happy to get this, and it was priced right. I think it was about $17. It wasn't too bad. Some of the record store day things, as you guys are well aware, were just outrageously priced. This was my number 2 thing on my list. I knew it wouldn't be too hard to get. I was just hoping that that the stores around here would actually pay attention and order these, and they did. So this is the best of compilation Townes Van Zandt 2 LP set. Great packaging. Once again, as always, the guys, the people over at Fat Possum do such a great job on their packaging. It's a nice matte finish packaging here. Here is the inside of the gatefold. Shows all the albums that the stuff was taken from, and just a gorgeous tiger eye splatter. Look at that. That is awesome. Love that. And that's one of my favorite. I'm not a huge colored vinyl guy, but that is a beautiful pressing right there. I haven't had a chance to spin it. It's going to get spun as soon as I finish up this video here. Can't wait to give that guy a spin. Love the Townes. Next, little green jelly. This was something that as I was graduating high school, this was coming out. What was it, 93, probably 93 or 94? I can't even remember. But I actually graduated in 92. But I kind of associate associate it with high school age stuff because I wasn't really out in the real world making a living at the time. So speaking of colored vinyl, so this has a really cool gatefold as well. There's I kept the cellophane with the hype sticker on there. But this was, I believe this was marketed and hyped as a lime green splatter vinyl. Well, I don't know about your guys' eyes, but this is far from lime green. This is clear vinyl with something. Acid color, yellow, I don't even know what you want to call it. Splatter. It was definitely a letdown. It has a very, very cool custom center label. But it's far from what I was expecting when it was touted as going to be a lime green splatter vinyl. Either way, glad to have it. It was a little on the pricey side. I was kind of bummed. It was one of those things that I first grabbed because they only had like 5 copies, and I picked it up on my way once I saw the thing that was number 1 on my list on the wall. I was running by this to grab it. I grabbed this and didn't even really look at the price until I got up to the counter and was like almost sticker shock. But well, went ahead and got it anyway. Let me know what you guys paid for that, because I think mine was a little bit too pricey. But either way, here's my number 1 item on my list. 7 Mary 3 American Standard, first time on vinyl, and it was limited to 800 pressings. I'm not sure if it's 800 total or 1,000 total, because there are either 600 or 800 on black, and then we know there are 200 on yellow vinyl. This is the black vinyl copy. This was the only copy that I saw in all 3 stores that I went to. Matter of fact, it was the only copy that any of the stores received. So I was very lucky, very fortunate to end up with this. So it was the number 1 thing on my list, and it was actually something that I passed over on the list. I didn't see it the first time I looked at my Record Store Day list. I did it on my phone, and I totally missed that. So I'm so glad I sat down on Friday night and went back through the list with my computer and a spreadsheet and checked over everything, because that came up and it ended up being the thing that I wanted the most, and I was so glad that I ended up getting it. So that was everything that I ended up getting at Trusty Cords. I'll take that back. Ended up getting a handy-dandy canvas Record Store Day bag. So thank you very much to the good folks over at Trusty Cords Records and at Rich's Record Shop. And then the last stop we made once we got back into town, we just stopped at our local Slackers here. And I was highly disappointed in their Record Store Day selection. But they did have this. I went ahead and picked up the Def Leppard, The Story So Far, Best of Volume 2. It will accompany the Part 1. The track listing on here, if you're not a die-hard or huge Def Leppard fan, it's not anything that's going to blow your socks off, but I just wanted to have it just to go along with the other one, Part 1. Plus it has, Bringing On the Heartbreak and, a couple other things to do it with Tim McGraw. And I'm sure I'm gonna dig it. But the reason I didn't get that at Trusty is because another a viewer and a guy that I had met, I've interacted with several times on the channel, Sean Jones, ended up picking it up. He came up and introduced himself, and so we met. It was a pleasure to meet you, Sean. Can't wait to see you again. Like I said, next time I have Brandon over, maybe we'll get together, have a little listening party, because he said he'd like to get together and hang with Brandon as well, Mr. Hall of Fame. So, guys, I believe that is my Record Store Day 2019. Wrapped it up in 20 minutes. Thank you guys for sticking with me. I know there are several Record Store Day videos out there to watch. I've watched a handful myself, and I always enjoy seeing what everybody got on Record Store Day and what they didn't get, what they're still looking for. I did pick up a couple other things as VCLT, but I'm not going to show them. I'll let those people who end up getting those show them. I do want to tell you guys I've got a couple other videos. Probably maybe I'll do one more today, but I'm going to do one more later in the week, and trust me, you do not want to miss that video. I picked up some epic Grail records, and just pulled up a huge trade. We've been working on this huge trade for quite some time, and we finally were able to get it completed on both ends. I got my stuff, and the other guy got his stuff, and everybody is happy on both ends. I'm happy to say. He's going to be making a video, he said, and I will make a video of mine as well. So make sure you stay tuned for that. Be on the lookout for that, as well as one other thing. I do have some just a regular vinyl update, other things that I picked up that are non-Record Store Day related. So guys, as always, thank you for tuning in. I hope everybody has a great week. Happy Monday, and take care, guys. Peace.